Well, hello everybody, Keith here again, at long last. You've probably been wondering where on earth I've been for the last few months, and the answer to that one is being very ill, actually. I managed to tread on some glass, which a month later led to sepsis, and I ended up spending very nearly a month in hospital. I've been out about 6 or 7 weeks now, and I'm slowly getting better. But it has unfortunately left me with a few problems that I've got to finish getting treated. I'm still under some of the doctors at the Derbyshire, or the Derby Royal Derby, was it these days, the Royal Derby Hospital. Well, they sort out what to do with me. I've had more doctors come and prod and poke me and then shrug their shoulders and walk away saying, no idea what's wrong with him, you know, you're obviously not very well, but we're not sure what it is. But they finally pinned it down to a couple of autoimmune things it's left me with, and that's going to cause issues down the line. But nevertheless, you'll be glad to know that I'm about 90 to 95% back to where I was before all this lot at the beginning of March. And I hope that one way or another I can start doing some more videos in the relatively near future. So, the thing that prompted me to start again is today was the relatively local show. This was the Sheffield Orchid Society show, which is only about less than an hour from Derby where they were holding it. Although it took us a lot longer than it should have done because one of the roads was closed and Google Maps took us on a real traipse. And then coming back, we were back in no time at all. It was absolutely mad day one way or another. But you will not be surprised to learn that I bought an orchid, a different one. And I'll go and fetch it and we'll do, well, it's not so much an unboxing video as an unsleeving video, and we can talk about it, and then if anybody's got any comments on how to care for this thing, I'll be very grateful to pick them up in the comments. So back in a minute. Okay, so this is the, wonderful, you can't see it for the plastic. So okay, let's get it out of the plastic. And we'll start from there. Right, let's get rid of the plastic. There was only one trader at this show, that was Lawrence Hobbs. And he had quite a lot of, he had some really nice Phalaenopsis. And he had some quite nice little Cattleyas, several maxillaria tenuifolias, which is an orchid I've always really wanted to grow. But looking at the way some of these plants were, and they were quite well established mature plants that he got on offer at not ridiculous prices. But the problem with them is they're a climber, and they're not really suitable for keeping in a pot, which is how I really need to keep mine. So anyway, I had a good look round. He let me and another member of the East Midlands Orchid Society have a good circle through when he saw that we were both looking for one of these. And this is down as Encyclia Black Comet, but it is apparently more, there was a beautiful plant, much more mature, much bigger plant than this, on show on the Sheffield stand, on display there, with a much bigger one, either 3 or 4 spikes, absolutely in full bloom. It was a wonderful sight. But that is actually Guarechia, Guarechia, Black Comet, and it's more properly that because it's an Encyclia or even a Prostechia. It's amazing how these things keep changing the generic name, isn't it? But that's what this is. It's a species crossed with a hybrid. So this is Black Comet. There are several variations of Black Comet. whether it's indigo something or other, but there's another level, but I don't know what that is or whether anybody again can identify it, but it's certainly black comet. It's a great colour, fascinating shape, and it's not an orchid I've ever kept. It will have to be repotted because it's in that horrible fibre stuff. This is as it came in from the Netherlands. Lawrence was saying he saw them on the list as being available. He put them on his order, didn't know whether they would come through, and he was really pleased when he got about half a dozen. I think they're really attractive. I don't think it's going to be too much of a climber. We've got quite a lot of root. I have done a little bit of looking up, not much yet, because I've only had my phone and spotty sort of reception at different places we've been today. So one thing it did say was that one of these orchids that really don't like being repotted, so only repot when you've absolutely got to, and categorically not when it's in flower. And the flower can last anything up to 6 months, because as you can see with this, the bit like the orange epidendrum ballerina that I've got, which you've seen before, this is an orchid where the spike puts out flowers lower down, and as they fade, more come out higher up, and there's quite a lot in the centre there. I don't know whether you can see that, but there's quite a few in the centre, so this could be flowering for quite a long time, and I'm going to have to be extremely careful what I do with it. I believe they are reasonably temperature tolerant. And what I've seen, and what it said on here, 5 degrees to 30. Something else is 29. Well, I think for a couple of degrees Fahrenheit or a degree centigrade, we're not going to worry about that too much. But it should be pretty okay in the conservatory, because it doesn't, especially if I'm around and about and I can open the windows for them, it gets to the high 20s, very, very low 30s. The problem might be that they like to be humid, and it did recommend growing them on a gravel bed. Well, fine, I can do that, that's not an issue. Guarretia, black comet. I'll be fascinated to see if I can keep this going. I hope I can, because I'm really, really chuffed with that. There were some nice plants which you've got some fabulous looking sarcocailus on the stand, and I'm very tempted by it. I looked it up and he said, I do temperature 15 to 18 centigrade. And there ain't a room in this house that I can keep to that consistently. So that was straight out the window, like the maxillarian, unfortunately. But there you go. First video for a while. I've got some non-orchids that are coming out. I've got an amaryllis, I've got an epiphyllum, which is absolutely covered in buds this year, and that's opening. But this being an orchid channel, it's probably not something most people are too bothered about. I might just stick something on the end. So anyway, that's that. That's this bit of the video done anyway. Okay, for those of you that are as much flower oriented as orchid oriented, this is a no ID amaryllis, ibiastrum, whatever. We've had this several years. It usually flowers about this time of year, March, April, May time, and that's doing okay. I've got another one down here which is an offset from the same plant. That's just showing signs of growth, and this one is one that I bought from the Chelsea autumn show when it was that put to that because of COVID had postponed the spring one. It's on at the moment. but this has got 2 spikes off the main bulb, and then other spikes off smaller bulbs, offsets and things, so that should be quite nice. The orange epidendrum that I mentioned before, this is, I'm pretty sure, orange ballerina, very pretty thing, really pretty in my book. It's the main reason I bought it, and it does seem that I can keep this and grow it. It's doing very well for me this year. I mean, it's turning into a right monster of a plant. It needs a repot, I suspect, but I mean, it's growing and growing well. And again, this is, you know, we've got 4 heads on the go. Some not so good as others, but some of these looking quite nice. We've got Phalaenopsis equestris, good old favourite, that's growing nicely. Still got a cakey attached from the previous spike. And then we've got this. I mean, this is an absolute monster. The flowers are colossal. I mean, there's my hand around the back, and you know, you've got 2 of those open. I've never had 2 open at the same time. I mean, they're amazing things. They're so big, and yet, relatively speaking, they're short-lived. And there's another one just opening behind there. Look, you can see there's lots of buds coming on it. There's a bud there, and there's other buds round the other side. Oh, well, so that is going to look quite spectacular because they're coming out, developing really fast. Now, it's obviously conditions in here at the moment are suited them just fine. So with it's about 26 degrees in here, 40% humidity. It might be a bit low for a lot of them, but on the whole, we're not doing too bad. So, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've got to try and think what else I'm going to do. I'll leave you with the old Guarechia again, because that is some sort of flower. Such a bizarre shape even for an orchid. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you soon. Hope it won't be a 3 or 4 month gap this time. And bye for now.